Hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the League of Amazing Adventurers here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Tonight's game is brought to you by us here at the channel. Thank you for coming. It's a good time. Let's do some announcements and introductions. Announcement number 1, programming schedule. On Friday this week, we are off. We are going to be off on the Friday show until January 6th. Huh. Funny. Then...
Oh, no!
We are then on Saturday. This Saturday, we are not doing Assault and Sorcery. I'm probably going to do something by myself, but Matt has their office party.
What if you didn't go? You don't seem all that excited about it.
I mean, it's free food.
Oh, but Matt,
Ooh.
I demand to see pictures of your gingerbread house.
I think you mean gingerbread bird/treehouse.
Oh, I like it.
Sounds like
I spent
Hobby Lobby would
I spent
enjoy.
my lunch time today gluing broken pieces of gingerbread onto other pieces of gingerbread to make it look like it was bark.
King.
Aw.
Fun. Then on the 17th, that's next Saturday, we are playing Civilization 5. We're doing Salt and Strategy on that Saturday.
I like that.
It's going to be me. It's going to be Matt. It's going to be Chad. It's going to be Zoe's partner. From our Monday night game, they're joining us. And maybe 1 or 2 other people, depending on if they have the game or not.
With every person added, the game becomes that much slower.
I have invited the anti-Matt.
Will, you must name a religion. Alchemists are the best, and then spread it to his country.
Oh, that was one of my plans. It was going to be hilarious. But that's on the 17th. On the 12th, that's this coming Monday, Strength of Thousands AP is back. We have McKenna, we have me, we have Zoe, we have Sarah, we maybe have Aerith? Who knows? I don't. Then, on next Wednesday, League of Amazing Adventurers, Lightfall arc continues. Man, I wanted to say, like, New Year, new campaign, but it's not going to happen.
That's
Never.
only our fault.
It's not. It's just not going to happen. Then on the 16th, we're off, of course, but 17th Civ game, and yeah. So programming schedule, a little bit up in the air, but 'tis the holiday season. Spend some time with your family if you like them.
If you have a choice.
Yes.
No, he's right.
Yeah. Or spend some time with your found family or chosen family.
Yes.
Yeah. One of our favorite tropes in this game. The found
It really
family.
is. I am a firm believer in making your own traditions.
But speaking of making your own traditions, it's time to introduce our cast. And as is tradition, this is a terrible segue, so we're going to start with McKenna, person responsible for all the lovely artwork you see here on the channel, and responsible for the artwork that PJ and I both showcased on Twitter this week, which I found humorous. I was like, oh, look at us both using McKenna art.
Yeah.
It's good. McKenna's art is good. People should commission her.
It is. People
Yes.
should.
Or just give her money.
Yeah, just
Or
Yeah, just for fun.
Offer up
If anyone just
tribute.
wants to give me money for fun,
She's much more fun to talk to than an AI.
You know
Tee-hee.
what? If you want my opinions on all of the AI art trends going around right now,
I hate it.
go ahead and message me. I've got a rant for you. My name's McKenna Tynan. Fuck those little AI art bots. They're thieving grubby little hands all over good, hardworking art pieces. Tonight I'm playing Nimbus Evangeline Amalthea Saint Altair and her familiar Merle. Merle also hates AI art bots.
You know, I might
Good
just
for
make
Merle.
I might just make some AI art golems for Nimbus to kick the shit out of for Catharsis. Now,
Make them at
No,
least
because then you're
metaphorical.
still using those bots that are still
No, I think he
using
just
other
means
people's art.
They themselves
No,
are the
like,
AI,
they
not that they're
themselves,
generated.
Like creating your own, creating a little enemy stat block for them so you can beat them up.
And then we'll beat up their boss, the NFT god.
God. If
I
only.
feel like the Lord of Light's an NFT, bro.
Look out. He's got a crypto coin breath attack.
See, now that's good
Remember when I was
satire.
into crypto? Their breath. It's an attack.
But speaking of things that are an attack on your heart because they're so lovely. It's Abby playing Cassandra.
I was wondering where that was going.
Oh, what a
Ritsas
wild
Nuhis
ride.
Rakeros, which is High Valerian for greetings, my friends, which I only know because I'm 30,000 XP deep in this week's Duolingo.
Haha, nerd.
Abby,
30,000.
Learning a language, how nerdy.
Learning High Valyrian.
How nerdy.
It's a
The joke here
language.
is that we're all here playing Pathfinder, and I'm a hypocrite. But I mean, it's High Valyrian.
Abby is putting the duel in Duolingo.
Hisa,
I like
I
that
just
one.
work
which is
here.
yes.
But speaking of people who do work here, Matt playing Garl, in charge of a number of things on this channel, like our overlays and my sanity. Say hi, Matt.
I take no responsibility for that latter part.
I was gonna say that's a big job.
But anyway, yes, hello everyone, I'm Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt. And speaking of people who just said hi, Cooper, say hi to us. You're playing Lynx tonight.
Hello.
I may have distracted Cooper by linking them to the Steam page of a fond childhood video game that is available on Steam.
Without literally any context to the entirety of the stream, it's not the same game that I played as a child, but
Oh, it's not?
Oh,
it's
I'm
not.
sorry.
However, it is good.
I just
Did you already download it and start playing it?
No, I took a look at the trailer for it as well as some of the in-game photography. I did not realize it was going to be a VR game,
Oh.
but there is a VR interactive
I-
feature to it, which is like,
I
wow.
really want
And
to
it's free.
And it's free. I really want to get into VR and just like go full VR chat mode because there's apparently some like crazy stuff on there and like just some beautiful places that you can see. I think that'd be fun.
VR chat?
Yeah,
Will, are you saying that you know the way?
I know
the
that we-
way.
How did you do that?
And Nudewi.
Abby is talking to their pet.
She opened the door.
Oh,
How did she do that?
First, the dogs open
You're
the
less
door.
than a foot tall.
Then
How
they
did
get
you-
Mecha Gundam suits, and next thing we know.
Oh, I've seen that episode of Rick and Morty.
I've seen that episode of Inside Job.
I love that episode of Rick and Morty. Like at
Same.
the end.
Yeah.
Where
we
are
are
my
not
testicles, Summer?
The,
See, you and I took different things from that episode.
So good. I love that episode. Such a great start to season 1.
It was. But those are all of our programming announcements. Those are all of our cast members. Hi, I'm Will. At
Hi,
Tabletop
Will.
Rolls on everything. I'm GMing tonight. I try my best, and that's all I can say. And yeah,
That's all anyone can say.
that's about it.
That's all, folks.
I think that's all of our announcements. I'm going to roll our intro, and then we will get right into the game.
Okay.
Last time on the League of Amazing Adventures, our party continued the prologue to the Lightfall arc, our level 20 arc, in which they had a 3-year time skip. They got through year 1 and started year 2. a whole bunch of things happened. Lynx continued being an awesome teacher.
Tee.
Elisandra gave Garl one hell of a buff that required Garl to be struck by lightning multiple times.
Ooh.
I mean,
Damage.
Link's got a little piggyback ride out of it, sort of, or shoulder ride. No, bridal carry.
If we ever get to the point where people make animatics for our show, I desperately want someone to make an animatic of that scene of like just
That was a
like
good one.
the why the hell are you doing this, Elisandra? What the hell, Elisandra? And then no, guys, it's fine. Look, I'm carrying Lynx.
I'm having fun.
Because that
I didn't need those nerve endings.
Oh, Coral.
It's fine. They're crystals now.
Worry about you, Garl.
But
Which
yeah,
reminds me, I need to write down specific breaking speeches for all of you. I mean, for the Christmas special.
Right.
right. And then, after I think those were like all the big events. Chip had a meeting with Cassandra about Garl's health. Nim started planning out her home that she is going to have built for her. And we are going to be actually picking up the morning after that night where you all basically closed down, made a like gourmet restaurant into a fantasy Denny's.
Oh yeah.
That's actually not where we left off last week.
Well, there was all the dream stuff that happened, right? Are my
There
notes
was
wrong?
a certain brother who invited me out to a certain port to talk to a certain undead Sophie?
Yes.
Sophia?
Yeah, Sophie. Yes.
Very curious about what's going on over there.
But
I just can't stop thinking about the fantasy Olive Garden that we can't go to.
no, they don't exist. They've never existed.
Unlimited bread golems.
Just there's like a natural law in this world where fantasy Olive Gardens cannot exist. It's like gravity, except better.
But what are you talking about? I don't know. It doesn't exist.
And it never will. But
What
yes,
if I cast Miracle? What if I cast Miracle right now?
Link's casts Wish.
you're,
That's a pretty complicated wish.
it may be a wish your heart makes, but even bending the universe to your will is not strong enough.
Just want to go to Olive Garden real bad.
Every time
Olive
you try to make fantasy Olive Garden, one of your favorite NPCs dies.
Oh no.
No! I have so many.
Just start the list. Just start on the list. I have like a Venn diagram of them all with like NPCs people care about, and it's like a whole Venn diagram. And McKenna's is just a circle of the entire thing with Arinari outside.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, there was the meeting with Malachor. Did we do any of that meeting? My notes aren't showing me. I believe you just got here and they introduced you, and we ended it.
I believe so.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know her name. I know she is undead. That is all I know.
Yes. So then let's pick up right from there. Then, so Nimbus, you find yourself in a tavern in Melotes. There is it's pretty busy still. But at the table across from you is Malachor, who, because you haven't seen them in a while, I'm going to give everyone an updated description of them, because it's been like a year and a bit. They've been on their own. They've been working in the Magistguard Wastes. So like beforehand, Malachor had like sort of like longish hair. That has been like chopped down into a little bit more of a clean cut sort of look. Like it's not like buzz cut, but it's definitely a short men's haircut now.
Does he have that horrible, scraggly teenage mustache that's really looks like he just forgot to shave that morning?
No, Malachor is clean shaven. He doesn't like
Okay.
his face with facial hair.
It's it's a taste.
So clean shaven still, as always, and their styles also changed a little bit. Beforehand, they were like very much always in like military garb. Since their time not being a literal soldier, they've kind of like begun going into like their own style. And the best way that I can describe it is desert steampunk. It is like tans with a whole bunch of like utility things all about it. Little bits of metal coming off like the side that look like they provide defense and maybe some venting. Yeah. What, McCann?
I said sus.
Oh, nice. And then other than that, the only other like major change to Malachor, now that you're really looking at them, is they have a slight scar just right here.
Malachor? What? And Nymph tries to rub it off as if it's like a bit of just dirt on his chin.
Sister,
What?
that's a scar. You can't rub it
What
off.
did you do? What did you do?
So there was a spear trap.
I knew it.
Oh no.
You want me to? Do you want me to get it for you?
No, it's fine. It's a scar.
Okay.
It's just a scar, Nimbus. It's not an actively gushing wound.
Well,
You've been around Gar long enough to know the difference.
Have you seen Garl? Listen, if I can.
yes, I have seen
I don't
Garl, and
imagine
I don't
how.
think she's doing very well.
I cannot imagine how you get any work done if you're spending all your spell slots healing Garl's scars.
Well, she doesn't let me. I would if I could, but I would have had plenty of time for it. There's been, not a lot of time for relaxation, but enough. Well, all right. If you don't need it.
I'm fine.
Oh, I'm so worried about you all out here by yourself and not.
I have company.
Oh, those spear traps are dangerous, Malachor.
Yeah, they're surprisingly common.
Yes.
They must have been very effective or something, but
Did Lynx ever tell you about the one that nearly got him? It was our
technically I
first
saw
day
it.
out. Oh, that's right.
Yes, because
That is right.
Yeah.
Well, so
Kate is
introduce
here.
me to your friend Sophie.
Malachor just like looks over to her. She just like looks back at Malachor. It's like, yes, I am Sophie. It's a pleasure. She holds out her hand.
And it falls off.
It's cold. Like it's disastrously cold, and like as you pull it away, it's just the hand. Malachor chuckles a bit.
I hand it back to her.
she takes her.
She lent you a
actual-
hand.
She takes her actual hand out of her sleeve. Just takes it back and puts it into a
That
bag.
was a joke. Okay, whose hand was that?
Malachor and them just like exchange a look. Don't worry about it.
I'm worried about it.
It's fine.
It's not fine.
It's just a
Does
hand.
Malachor's hand look regrown?
Oh,
Pick a perception check.
Fuck.
No, Malachor's hands. Malachor's hands are fine.
Oh no.
are they
no.
extra fine though? Like brand new fine?
They look exactly the same as the last time Malachor saw their hands.
That's
Yeah, that's
suspicious. He's
being-
been the magic scarred waste. They should be calloused.
Yeah, they're baby soft, you could say.
I don't.
Oh, poor Malachor.
So with like the mechanics of regrowth, I don't actually know how the spell would work on Malachor.
He has one baby hand like
Rules-
Deadpool.
Like rules as written. Yeah,
Like that one SNL skit where they're just like.
yeah. Like rules as written, I think that would be what would happen.
Oh god. Okay, Malachor's
Metal.
not allowed to lose any. any
Uh.
bits and bobs. Oh god.
God. But no, in all seriousness, I was just a hand from an undead.
Oh. Do you find a lot of those out here?
You find a surprising amount of undead in the Magisk Wastes. Points to themselves. Yes, not many that have their brain still, though. Chuckles at that. Yes, well, the only reason why I have that is because of luck. It's like, yeah, still. Sorry, we've been basically working together for this last year, so.
Oh, what on?
As you say that, Malachor lights up with like a little bit of a smile. And they push like some junk off of the table and just out of the way. And then they open up their bag and they put a box on the table.
Box.
Box?
Yes. Sophie continues. A box that we found some time ago in the ruins of a very large crashed airship of sorts.
Oh. What was the make of the airship?
It was-
Agdian or?
Not any sort of make that we recognize. It was underneath the sand itself. This was
Oh.
pre-Great War, I would imagine. There was like a sort of pathway down to it. People had been in there before, but nothing else was taken. It was perfectly intact archaeologically.
Interesting. Well, nothing taken until now. Do you know what's in this?
Malachor just like goes to try to open the box, and then this like magical projection appears above it, and it's sort of like it's several like gray cubes that are all like arranged together that like as you touch them you can move them. Looks like you would need to make some sort of symbol or picture with them in order to open it.
Oh. A
I hate
puzzle.
those.
Lynx might like this. Was there any sort of, I don't know, carving or clues around it as to what sort of symbol you were meant to make?
No, it was simply there. It was just on the ground. We've
Any
not been able to
consequence
open
if you get it wrong?
it. If you do it too many times incorrectly, it locks you out for a day.
Oh. Interesting. What have you tried so far?
Well, we've tried an X, we've tried an O, we've tried some basic shapes, we've tried some dodecahedrons.
Interesting.
Basic shapes.
Yes. Well, the thing is, it lets you basically work in a 3D space, so there's there's a very large number of combinations that you can make.
Interesting.
It is ancient technology that is very new. It's like almost outpaces magical technology of today. It's very complex.
Is there any other markings on the box?
Other than like a few like scratch marks where people have tried to open it and not been able to get through, no. Well, we found that, and then we've done a couple other like large ruins here. Went to the spot that you went to here. Collected some parts from the mechanical beings there to help a friend out, and moved
Oh,
on.
the androids.
Yes.
How have they fared?
They've been faring well. Like I said, it's an adjustment for anyone when their life format changes, and I know better than anyone else that's the case. But they've been faring well. I've been trying to help them out as much as I can.
Thank you. And I don't suppose you have anyone in your, I don't know, party, caravan who can... Well, there are a lot of spirits in and around the Magic's Guard wastes that need exercising. I wanted to see to it myself, but I just haven't had the time. Have you seen the ones I'm talking about?
Check.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
There's like a slight look on Malachor's face. It's like, I personally haven't seen any spirits. Thankfully. I'm not really one to deal with ghosts all that well.
Is he lying?
Not lying.
What's Sophie's reaction?
Sophie's reaction is kind of deadpan.
And good. Because he's dead.
I pitched that one right to ya. Fuck.
You sure did.
Thanks for the slow ball. I am not good at the sports.
Well, anyone else who could help?
Sophie just kind of mutters, I keep us clear of any dangerous spirits.
Oh, no, not dangerous. Not at all. Sort of a... Oh, God, I hate to call them a byproduct, but collateral damage of the restoration of the androids. Not all of the spirits that were encased in those crystals made it safely into the androids, and a good lot of them were just sort of left in suspended animation, reliving their death over and over and over again.
And there's kind of like, after you say it, they take like a minute. Interesting. I'll keep an eye out for them. Smiles.
Takes her eye out.
They're lying?
Yes, that point she is lying.
What's going on here?
Absolutely.
It seems
not.
like you know what I'm talking about, but you're not.
If you'd like, you have that third eye feat, right?
I do. It's a magical item, but yeah.
Yeah, there is a good amount of abjuration coming from her claw, like her left hand specifically. Now she's like kind of hiding it under the table. There are like a number of like magical pings coming off of them, and one very strong abjuration ring is coming off of that too.
That doesn't tell me anything, unfortunately.
It does not tell you anything, but it tells you that information. Use that however you'd like, McKenna.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. I do believe I've just told you that there are, possibly thousands of souls
We've come across
unliving a torturous existence.
I've sent them on their way.
May I ask what your method is for that?
Kind of just like raises their left hand. Smack a ghost.
You smack them?
Sometimes I don't smack them, sometimes you just claw at them or punch them. But you hit a ghost dissipates and moves on to the afterlife.
What if you just patted them gently?
Well, I mean, they're ghosts. Half the time they attack you.
No, the ones we saw, they weren't...
Or are you talking about the ones that just
They weren't
replay
externally
themselves?
conscious. They were reliving their last moments. It wasn't...
Yeah, that
They were
happens for
stuck in
long.
it like a
That
loop.
happens for long enough. They can get out of that loop eventually, but they just lose their mind when they do.
Oh...
Oh no.
Honestly, I don't know which is worse.
Either way, I deal with them for us, so it's fine.
Well... Thank you, then, for taking care of them. It has been something that has been weighing on me for a good long while now. I don't suppose there's any way to get some sort of task force on it?
I mean, not easily. Malachor speaks up. To be entirely honest with you, the Magical Wastes are kind of a no-man's land.
Yes, for now.
Number of groups, all just doing our own thing. And, as people progress, they progress, so... Maybe once everything's retaken, but for now, it's...
Maybe.
As you come across. Anyway, sister.
Is this all you called me out here for, this box?
Yes, I was going to hand it off to you.
Alright, well... I suppose I will take it back home to Lynx, but, let me know if you find out anything else about it, because I'm a little bit stumped as to where to start. I don't want to just start trying random combinations, but I don't know what else there is to do.
Malachor just kind of nods at you. Hey, Sophie, mind if you run and start getting everyone packed up and ready to go? Yeah, sure thing. They head out.
Are you headed out?
Yes, we're going to be heading back into the wastes. This was the only reason why we came back in, was to speak with you easily.
Well, do you consider coming back to Bridehall, maybe for your birthday?
Eventually, maybe.
Just for a short visit.
I've been kind of busy out here, sister.
I know, but
And
might be good to make time for a little vacation.
yes, eventually.
Well, vacay.
I have goals out here.
Does he look like he's gonna make any effort to do that?
He looks at you and says, "I have goals out here, and once they're completed, I will definitely make time for myself."
What are you doing? You're being awfully enigmatic, Malcor.
There's a certain item I'm looking for, and I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get your hopes up for it, but it could be helpful.
My hopes?
Yes.
Well, what are you looking for? You can tell me what you're looking
It would be
for.
directly helpful to you and your current situation.
Oh, Malachor. Okay, promise you won't run yourself ragged on my account.
Yes, of course.
All right. Then
Ma'am,
come visit soon.
they are lying to you.
Oh, Malachor. Come visit very soon. Promise me right now, because on the off chance that you don't find what you're looking for, and I am playing this card, I would like to spend some time with you. I just might not have all that much time left after all.
Ooh!
She pulled
Ooh.
the card.
The card has been played. It's on the table.
I do like the fact that because she involuntarily specced into the family tree, she can use the guilt trip ability.
Oh, you learned that one from Mom, didn't you? Fair enough.
Oh.
Slay.
And all seriousness,
Nim recognizes Gallows humor for Gallows humor and cheers to
Me
it.
too, honestly.
All right, well, have fun on your mission. Be safe.
I mean, it's work.
Safe-ish.
I will do my best, sister.
All right.
He just
I gave
comes
him
and
a
gives
hug.
you a hug. Oh, he initiates the
Yeah.
hug this time around.
Oh.
You feel him kind of
Oh.
going into your hair a bit.
Is he searching your
And
hair?
then you just have Merle. You feel Merle like biting onto something, and then Malachor just starts heading off. Have a good one, sis.
What did he give you?
And
is
then
that?
Merle
Give
just
that
comes
to
out
me.
with like this treat in his mouth, like half in their mouth.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. You can have it back. You can have it back.
What do you have? What's in your mouth? Open.
What's in your
Merle?
mouth? What's in your mouth? Spit it out. Spit it out. Drop it.
Starts chewing faster.
Oh, my sweet baby brother. He's out there doing all the adventure and stuff.
They grow up so
I don't know
fast.
if I trust this Sophie character, though.
But
Alright.
there you go. You're able to make it back to the city at that point and continue about Nimbus's day. Our next big scene is going to be a Lynx scene.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Lynx, oddly enough, this one's not going to take place entirely at the school, but we'll start there. As it has been about a week since you've last seen your TA. They've not come in, they've not been to any of their classes, they've just not been around at all, and Chip has sort of sent you a missive saying, get their shit together.
Bad. What time of day is it?
By now it's about noon. Noon 30 maybe.
Okay.
And you would have like their apartment and address. You've been there before.
Gotcha. Well, I'll go stop by.
Okay. As you're making your way into their apartment building, It is basically adjacent to the school. It's not a dormitory, but it is like a spot that they purposely usually rent to students, and it is like rent controlled because of that.
Oof.
But as the door opens up to like the building proper, there are signs of like a struggle up and down the stairway.
Okay. I will proceed with caution.
Okay. As you make your way up the stairs, you come to basically every apartment's been like locked down. Like people have not left their rooms, and you come to like the end of the hall where their apartment is, and the door's been forced open. It's basically been broken off its hinges.
Okay, this is looking better and better. Can I hear anything?
It is deathly silent in this building.
Hate that.
Great choice of words.
Hate that a lot. I would like to just kind of stealth through the apartment building then until I get to his room.
Sure. Make me a stealth check. Lynx, you are a super sneak. You go in, and like as you're walking, not only are you avoiding notice, you're also avoiding making it look like you were here. You're able to get into where their room would have been, and you see it has been completely tossed.
This is not good. Is there any sort of trace in this room as to like who it was or what they were looking for?
Make me a perception check. You can see that their research notes basically have been fully gone through, and there's been a number of pages ripped out. It looks like this is what they're going to basically be doing their dissertation on. They hadn't come across to you yet because like they didn't want to like present it to you until like they had like it pretty much done, so they could be happy with it.
Yeah.
But they basically every now and then they'd ask you for like, hey, if the source is like this old, how do I cite that, and like stuff like that. But yeah, as you're basically reading through that dissertation that you found, it's basically been strung about the room. With that perception check, it takes you about 10 minutes to get it all put together. Eventually, you do come across the first page of it, which is the origins of our current society and the effects the lenses of creation had on the people it was used on.
Okay.
It appears to be a direct paper on the origins of the figure known as the Lord of Light.
Horrific. Okay. I
And
will
so the
stow this.
archaeological dating of everything is like, so yeah, then this person that this cult worships and da-da-da-da.
This is not new information, is it?
It's not new information, but this is like very specific information. And on a few pages, it starts to basically talk about like the organization's like creation and things, and those parts are ripped away. Like there are very choice bits of information that have been ripped away with him.
Okay. In that regard, then I'd like to just kind of denote and check up with specifically Nim later, and see if we can find any sort of information on these missing factors, so that we can track it down a little bit better. So what all is missing?
You can't really easily tell. Make me a society check to glean some context clues. I love the fact that I can use society for that, by the way.
I also do have Queen Contents, which I believe I can,
Yeah, it lets you go a little bit quicker,
yeah, like just kind of rationalize for this.
which I like. Yeah, so a couple of things with the context that you can figure out. Number one, it appears as though your TA had discovered like the exact date that the Lord of Light had ascended and like officially become a god.
Okay.
In addition to that, he had also discovered basically traces of the remnants of their energy left in the world, like major traces of their energy, but all those locations have been scrubbed away. And lastly, he had discovered something about a phylactery on this place that they had that kind of kept drawing them back here.
What was the second one?
A number of like large sort of concentrations of their power on this world, like beacons of their power, if you will.
Okay. All right, I've got those written down.
All of that information has been taken out.
Interesting. Then I guess we gotta find it again. But no trace of Barnaby and anywhere that he's potentially gone.
Nothing. The people who took him were clearly professional about it, and unfortunately, you did not hit the DC to find anything for it.
Yeah, I don't think I really have anything that I can use to make that better either, so...
Is there anything else you want to try while you're in this apartment?
I can't really think of anything to.
Fair enough.
I guess I should report him as missing to Chip and then check in with the gang.
Chip would send you to basically go file a police report.
Yeah.
Well, at the station, you do actually get a little bit more information. There's actually been like a number of disappearances in Brighthall and like across Lutania lately.
Okay.
And they haven't been able to figure out, like, there's been no connecting factor between them. Like, there's been scholars, there's been people who are just like really strong, there's been people who are just naturally really smart or charismatic, and it's just been like people have been being plucked from their homes, sometimes with no damage, sometimes with lots of damage. This fits like the MO, and then they just disappear.
Well, fuck.
Oh, so what would Lynx do? What would you like to do?
There's not really a lot that I can think to follow up with on that MO. The best I can really think to do is check in with the gang.
Yeah. You can easily get the gang together. Wherever you all meet up. It probably takes like a day to get everyone together.
I brought scones.
I brought my axe. I didn't know we were doing a thing.
I brought a puzzle box for you, Lynx. It's a very pressing puzzle.
Oh,
Ancient
nice. Thank you.
technology. It might contain information that might save my life, but no pressure.
What?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Where'd you get that?
Oh, I went to visit Malicorn, Port Peridot, yesterday.
Cassandra, you've seen this before.
Where did you get that?
I got it from Malachor and a friend of his, Sophie. You
Where
may
did they
have
get
met
it?
her. An airship? Why?
Takes Nim by the collar. Which airship?
I don't know. A wreck that they found in the Magiscard Wastes. Why?
Drop it. Drop it.
No,
Put it down.
I will not. Explain yourself.
I shall.
I have seen that before.
It would have been your jewelry box, basically.
That is my jewelry box.
Oh, so then you remember the password to it.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yes, it's just tick 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 tick.
It makes like this 3D star, and then that breaks apart. It goes down, and the box just pops open. The box is empty, minus one singular necklace inside of it.
Is it a normal necklace?
No, it is magical.
Of course. Bad magic or fun magic?
You'd have to identify it. It was a magical item that you had commissioned. It never got to you. Like, you never actually got to inspect it. Basically, it came to you the day that you got zapped.
Never got to wear it.
Well, third eye, what kind of magic is it?
It is necromancy.
Well, there is a strong aura of necromancy around this necklace, which could be healing or deeply, deeply detrimental. So, investigate with caution, I suppose.
Take that as you will.
Woohoo! I guess I'll try to investigate a little further.
Oh, sure. Make me an Arcana
Fortunately,
check.
Yeah.
I can maybe help with that. Weirdly enough.
Nice.
I scrolled up so much.
Garl, that is a success.
Carl does her idiot savant thing.
Me.
Oh.
So, this was a necklace of 9 lives.
Meow.
It is a artifact that requires attunement. The person wearing it must be lawful in some way. And it has a number of effects. Number of 1, when you attune to this magical item, you get hit points. Your hit point maximum, while you're attuned to it, increases by your level. So, e.g., it's a free plus 20 hit points to someone. In addition to that, it also increases the value that you would die from if you were dying by 1.
Gives you a free Die Hard feat.
Yes. And once per day, you can activate it with a reaction when you would fail a death save, like a death check, like a flat death check, and it will return you to health with those 20 hit points, with hit points equal to your level.
I will slide the box and the necklace back over to Nim and say, you know what? Finders keepers. I've had more lives than I originally ever expected. I'm good.
I'm trying to find a way to roleplay the fact that Nim is not lawful. She's neutral good. And therefore, this item has no use to her, unfortunately.
It is worth 10k gold.
We like that.
We do like that. Think of all the fantasy Olive Gardens we could create with that.
Oh,
And
I
time to
think
roll
the
on my
choice
list.
Nimbus makes, much to my chagrin, is to nod and say, yes, Finders Keepers is right. I think I will pass it back to Malachor. I think he might actually make better use of it than I I would or could. He has been working so hard in those wastes. Oh, I feel awful. I guess there's something out there that he thinks might help. But he is running
Keep
himself
the box,
very
though.
ragged. Huh?
I'll keep the box though.
You can keep the box. It's a good box.
It's got my password.
It's got your password.
There's like this like old crumpled up piece of paper that's been like dissolved to time in it. It's like dust now. It probably would have been Cassandra's like original social security number.
Nice.
There's like a
Where you left your keys.
there's a moth-eaten passport, all that.
A fantasy world of your own making, William, and we have to have social security numbers.
Hey, those were fantasy to me until I came to the States.
We've needed passports this whole time.
No.
Have we just been illegally
No,
crossing borders?
That was the old world. This is like the new world where things are better.
Oh, good.
This is what I keep bringing up. I kept bringing up in the Genshin like foreshot. Like, how are we passing across these borders without any sort of bureaucracy? This is not how to run a country.
Wait a damn minute. That was the old world?
Yeah.
Is this campaign set in our universe? Just
No.
several hundred years in the future?
No.
After like a grand disaster has occurred?
No.
I don't believe you.
You don't have to
Nuclear
lie.
destruction?
You don't have
I
to
don't
lie. You
believe
don't have
you.
to lie to me feet for GM, so it's fine.
No, I know, actually. I do know, and I'm correct. That's amazing. Well, I'll pass it back to Malachor. Thank you, Cassandra, for opening it.
No problem.
Sorry, Lynx, I've completely derailed. You've called us here for something.
I sure did, yes. For starters, Barnaby's missing.
Oh, no.
Barnaby is
If
missing?
only I knew his real name, I might be able to track him down.
No,
Oh
like,
boy.
he's been kidnapped, I think.
Oh, shit.
Kidnapped? How can you be sure?
Well, he's not shown up to class in a while. Chip was a little bit miffed about it, and honestly, I also kind of thought maybe he was just really into his research, but I went to his apartment. His home has been ransacked, and all of his research has been misfiled, let's say.
Why would anyone misfile research?
Let's focus on how they did it instead of why, and how they did it was tearing it out of his books. So,
I mean, that's the direct approach.
considering that almost all of the research he had been doing was on the Lord of Light, I think there's something more here.
Give me 10 minutes, Lynx.
Okay.
And
Sandra's eyes just twitching.
Nim starts setting out right at the table, like all of her tarot cards, and at this
Hot.
point she can't really use the
Hey.
starscape of the Cloak of the Night Sky because there are no more stars, but she does still use it as like a placemat for her cards to discern the location of Barnaby,
Thank you.
as
For,
I have seen him in person.
Thank you for the raid, Evandale.
Hello,
Hi, Evandale.
Wade.
We've just started to untangle a mystery.
Yes, there's been some
There's been a
kidnappings.
kidnapping, which is a lot less intense when you are a 20th level and have discern location.
Lower level. Ah, perfect.
Fuck.
So, Nimbus, you focus in. You go and you begin to basically zoom out of Brighthall. Like, you begin zooming out and, like, going to, like, a globe of the world, and normally you would see this, and then it would zoom back into the location. However, as it's beginning to zoom back in, it just fizzles.
You got donk.
Oh,
Nope, McKenna. McKenna, your mic's not picking you up.
I said those sons of bitches have an anti-scrying spell higher than level 8.
Oh, let me give you the
Who
flavor.
taught them to curse?
Let me give you the flavor of the spell though too. It blinds you with light.
Oh.
That sons of bitches.
There we go.
There's a very specific bitch here.
Oh, to be a
And
very
I
specific bitch.
Oh, to be a very specific bitch. And I think this specific bitch is the Lord of Light. I mean, I can prepare this spell at 10th level tomorrow. But, I don't think I can replicate it now.
I don't know too much about this specific sort of magic, but have they been notified that you've tried to investigate?
No.
Don't believe so. As it's not specifically scrying. There's nothing that would allow it to bounce back in that sort of way, unless whatever artifact they have guarding him has that as a part of its ability. But even then, I don't think it would be anything automatic. Regardless, they now know that someone who can cast very powerful magic is after them.
Perhaps they will get panicky and do something stupid then.
That's my hope as well. Regardless, I think we will have to take another crack at this tomorrow.
Can we see what's left of his research?
Yes, but quite honestly, this was something that I was hoping to discuss as a group, because what's missing is kind of interesting.
Interesting how?
So, 3 major topics of research are missing, and that is the Lord's descent and the time at which he became a god. I don't know how he did it, but Barnaby seems to have located some interest points of beacons of the Lord's power in full swing. And the reason why I wanted the entire group here, a phylactery.
Oh.
Concerning, to say the least.
Deeply.
I don't remember the last time we dealt with something like that.
I am rolling to see if Garl knows what that is. I
So
don't
we're
know.
thinking this specific bitch might be a lich?
Yeah, that's sort of what it looks like, isn't it?
Now waiting for stat block for a specific bitch.
Alright. Was Barnaby anywhere near an explanation? Or, like, a location for where this phylactery might be being kept?
That was part of the stuff that would have been ripped out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What God said.
What God said. Okay.
How
Well,
was
shoot.
this? How was this information recorded? Was it handwritten?
Yes.
How heavy of a hand does your assistant have?
Am I to decide that, Will, or?
He wrote normally, heavy-handed, light-handed. You don't know. I like where this is going though, so keep it up.
Okay. Well, I would be more than happy to recreate it if you'll allow crafting to do that.
I mean, like you can tell like. Abby, is your question specifically if you would have left like indentations on the other
Yeah,
page?
because if I could take like a piece of charcoal over like the other papers, like not enough to like undo he already has.
It would be a crafting check to do that, and I think like that would have to be something that Lynx would do.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah.
Make it.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
success.
kind of genius, Abby.
Yeah.
That's a success. Lynx, you managed to get not all of it, but you get a good amount of information.
Mhm.
Number one, you don't get the full like date and time of the ascension, but you do get the date. It would have been basically in like it would have been in like the old calendar. It just says 07/18, and then there's no year.
Cassandra, do you know what that could mean?
Checking.
That was the old calendar there when it was still like a 12-month world instead of a 9-month world. So you can basically create the equivalent easily enough.
Yeah, I do so.
Yeah. I don't want to have to do that much math though, so you just have that date.
Valid.
Okay.
Yeah, let's like try and repeat this to get as much of the other information as we can
Well,
too.
I'm going to give you the rest of that information now. I just wanted to give you that
Yay!
one piece. Number 2, for the beacons, there were 4 of them in the world that were heavy points of power. There was one that remained in the Magusgard Wastes. They didn't have exact locations, but they had general spots. So one that was in the area of the Magusgard Wastes. One that was actually like in the former area of the Opal Empire. It's underwater now. Another one that is deep within the jungles of Izdal. And then another one that just in the notes that says is actually in the atmosphere. Like it is fixed in the atmosphere, and it stays in the same spot. It's just like in the middle of the ocean, but it's super high up.
Wild.
And lastly, the phylactery. It mentions that it wasn't a traditional phylactery. It wasn't an object to be put in a location, but it was a creature. But that's all the information they had.
Cassandra does side glance at Nim. Because, like, with all the like, prophecy stuff surrounding, like, Nim being the key to bringing back the Lord of Light, she wonders.
You can tell by the expression on Nim's face that she has had the same thought. Oh.
Oh, I'm not using my axe today then.
Not yet.
Okay.
We can always use it on something later.
Okay. Would there be any sense in going back to the tossed is it their apartment or their like office or
Their apartment.
Their apartment. I know you've got some very keen eyes, Lynx, but we've got 2 people here who have like magic and stuff, and I've got special eyes and stuff, so there might be some extra clues that maybe we can find.
I think that's a completely reasonable idea. I don't see a reason why not. I can tell that I didn't get everything, but
you
I
were
don't
probably
know.
in a bit of shock too. That was a bit of a mood swing for the scene. Looks directly at the camera.
It was something, that's for sure. But I don't quite know how to explain that. But yeah, I think that would be a fine use of time, honestly.
All right. Detective field trip.
Yeah.
Field trip.
You all
Hate
make
it here.
Would
back.
be worth getting Professor Chip involved in this.
He does find odd things in rooms sometimes.
Yes, and then he goes and says, "That's all."
That's odd.
Oh God! So I'm not the only one who heard it. Can keep saying that. I thought it was weird.
No, it's sort of his thing. It's like a little catchphrase that he has. I think it's charming.
But does he always have to say it out loud?
I mean, that's
Yes.
part of the charm of it.
That was actually something he told me in confidence, is that he always had to say it out loud.
Lynx, when people tell you things in confidence, it means that you're not supposed to repeat them.
Okay, and it's relevant to the conversation.
Remind me never to tell you anything in confidence.
Oh, stop. I don't think it's that serious.
Things he says when Chip gets into his sherry.
Oh, Chip. But yes, can we get him? Because I feel like his prowess of observation might be very helpful here.
Chip is
I
a very
think it's a
very
great
busy
idea.
person with many things on his schedule.
One of his students was just kidnapped.
Many things on the schedule.
He can make time. What? What are you afraid
Besides,
that
we're
Chip's
like
gonna
that.
uncover?
I'm not
I like
afraid
that.
Chip will uncover anything. It's does Matt want to have to control Chip right now?
I would just say Chip is strangely absent at the moment and no one can find him. He's down in the basement interrogating the spy.
Oh, tomato. All right, I guess we're on our own.
You guys don't have a pocket detective. I don't know what to tell you.
I know.
Oh,
All
to
right,
have a
all
pocket
right.
detective.
That's actually a very adorable image. Just have a little like mouse in like the deer hunter hat from Sherlock just sitting in your like breast pocket.
A little chip in my pocket. It's like a chip on my shoulder, but it's the chip in my pocket.
Yeah.
In very different meaning.
If you give a Chip a
Yes.
cookie, he'll want a glass of milk.
All right, but let's assume that we have fast traveled there.
Yes. Well, I mean, you can just walk there. It's in the city. So, as you're
Fast
all
travel.
as you were all getting into there, the apartment has actually been closed off. There's like police tape. It's become like a full crime scene.
Excuse
won't
us, we're special.
The axe.
One of the people kind of like try to get you to like stop, and then there's just like this like grizzled voice behind you that you
Oh,
hear.
boy.
What do you all want with my crime scene? And
Question: is this the same detective that stopped us outside of Gwendolyn's restaurant?
yes.
Oh no.
Fuck.
And they
Nice.
just and then there's like a moment where he's just standing there. Wait a minute.
Should we run?
I thought we had disguise kits on for that.
Nope.
I think famously we had a problem with the consequences of that whole sequence.
Yeah.
I took legal lore with Chip just to try and do something about that, and it became nothing.
I've been looking for you for 3 years.
We've never seen you before, ever. I
I
don't
can't
know.
quite imagine what you're
what
talking
you're-
about.
Since the last
Yeah.
time we've seen them, their hair has just become even more gray. It's like gone completely white.
Okay, it's the last time you saw me. I've grown bat ears.
They're more focused in on like Nimbus.
Why?
You've never seen any of us before in your life.
I mean, I don't know you.
That's a 55. That's a 55 in deception.
I rolled that without permission, so I will understand if it's not.
Must be one of those familiar faces.
Yeah, it must be 1, 2, 3 very familiar faces.
Must have been. Must
Keep
be
in mind
my
the
imagination.
specific familiar face that pulled out a box of matches and set fire to a building
It's
is not
here.
among us.
Huh.
True.
So...
Among us.
They will say though. What do you want with my crime scene?
I would like to try something here.
Yeah.
Garl is just going to put a big meaty hand on their shoulder and lean in,
You might kill him.
lean in real close, and just whisper in his ear like, "It's okay, we're from downtown," and I'm going to try and do an intimidation check. 40.
I can't give you disadvantage in this game, but I want to.
I mean, technically you
You
could.
put this hand on this
Well-
like grizzled old cop's shoulder. And he just looks at you and says, I didn't give you permission to put your hands on me. And they just
Carl, take your hands off this nice gentleman.
they push Garl's hand up and off of himself.
Cassandra will move herself to the area where the hand is going down, just because she can.
Wow.
Look, we're not trying to do anything crazy here. We're just trying to.
Do you
look
know
at the
how
scene.
many
We have.
people have been trying to get into these crime scenes? Do you know how many bloody podcasters have been trying to get into these things? Like, they're treating like this actual crime is just their ticket to another meal, to a big episode.
Okay, well, lucky for you and for us, we don't rely on pods of casting to put food on the table.
I still love them.
This here is Professor Lynx. He was. I hate to call him a victim. He was Barnaby's professor and technically employer. You do pay your TAs, yes, Lynx?
Uh,
That's an answer.
I'm pretty sure it's not really my department.
I shall have to talk to Chip about this. Regardless, we have some insider information regarding what Barnaby was working on.
You're the one who filed the report.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah, it's real interesting. TA doing some research that maybe might overshadow its instructor. Goes missing as that research comes to fruition.
The implication. Ooh,
What are you implying,
Is that your
sir?
best theory?
I'm just saying the mysterious circumstances of this particular disappearance may lend itself to that credence. Now, I personally don't think of that, but kind of looks to
Then I'd appreciate it if you didn't imply as such.
kind of looks to the rest of the he kind of looks at the rest of the people around him. Popular opinions are hard to go against sometimes, you must understand.
Hmm.
Someone,
Thank you for the warning.
one of you can make me a society check.
Abby, what's your rank in
I have a
society?
26.
Society. Oh, I got 29. Holy shit, didn't know that.
Hmm.
Oh, let's give it a toss.
I didn't think I was the highest.
Oof.
Wow. Not the 3.
Cassandra, there is a hidden meaning to what he is saying
Oop.
to you.
Oh.
I have double speak as the feat.
Oh, then yeah, you would know immediately. He is essentially saying it's not safe for him to talk to you here about this.
Ah.
Conspiracy.
I would like to look around, but if you would like to... I don't know, you're probably very busy, too busy to grab, say, coffee or something.
I tend to not take many breaks when I'm investigating a case, but I'm not one to disregard the positive effects caffeine can have when you don't sleep at night.
Well, I
Ain't
think
that
you should
just the
avoid...
truth?
Truthfully, I think you should avoid burnout, especially when working a big case like this. Is there any way that you can let us in and just give us a quick look around? And I think I might make that a shameless request with diplomacy.
So shameless.
So I'm gonna add 2 to this. It's a 50.
He kind of like looks down at like your bag. Looks back up at you. I don't know if I could be persuaded to let you in. Perhaps donation of sorts to the fund.
What fun!
Bribery.
And once again, yeah, he's clearly trying to get you to give him a bribe. And you
To
can
the
tell
cops!
you can tell he doesn't like saying this, but he's like he's playing a part. He's putting on a performance for the people around him right now.
I will also use doublespeak and just say, all right, but I hope you make it up to me. What I mean by that is give this back to me the next time we speak.
Yeah.
Does he give me sort of any affirmation on that?
There's a don't worry, this is going to go to a good place, and like doublespeak.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean by that.
Doublespeak. Yes, he's going to give it back to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he's willing to give it back to me, I'll hand him like 100 gold.
Cool. Just to kind of puts it into his pouch. All right, guys, let's go get some coffee. It's time for our break. And like all the cops get out of there.
Oh, including him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dang.
Well, I'll try to meet up with him later because it sounded like he wanted to talk privately. Okay. Well, let's make this quick.
Yeah.
And let's get in there and look around.
Into the thick of it.
Immediately
The great unknown.
Immediately upon entry, Lynx, you can tell that things have been moved and things have been changed here to make it look like something else.
This is
E.g.,
not the same as I left it.
can I get perception checks from everyone? Now with a slightly higher DC to find stuff.
45 from me.
42 from me.
Merle. 41 from Merle.
And True Sight.
Nim, you're the one who finds this. At the bottom of one of the bedposts, you kind of like go and like are absentmindedly like looking under the bed. You notice it's the smallest tuft of fabric sticking out of it. You can get Garl to easily come over, pick up the bed. You pull out
One-handed.
what looks to be like a small like ripped piece of fabric. It would have been from like a cloak of some such. You recognize the cloak, though, as the cloaks that you saw like the clergy of the Lord of Light wearing.
Oh.
Horrific.
Off to the detective, I think. I don't have a little baggie to put this in, unfortunately. Lynx, do you have like a vial or something?
Oh, absolutely.
Put it in a vial.
Let's put it in a vial.
Alright?
Is there anything with like the third eye read aura up that I find?
Traces of conjuration.
Anything with my ability to see ghosts?
A half shirtless frat boy ghost. Just kind of
I look at the
floating
ghost and
there.
say, "Did you see anything?"
No, man. I haven't been able to see anything since I
boy.
was alive.
Okay.
Still,
Sandra, who are you talking to?
The frat boy.
A frat
He's dead.
boy? Oh dear, I exercise him.
goes away. Totally tubular, dude.
Have fun in the next life.
Well, that
God.
happened.
Poor Barnaby.
Caden, no.
Why, Cooper?
Yeah, does magic
He was
sense do
just
anything?
hanging out!
He needed to move on. How long do you think he's been a frat boy, Cooper?
I mean, for eternity now. He's up with Caden now.
Oh my god.
Does that do anything?
Caden, the patron saint of frat boys. You also
Love
get
that.
those. You also get those traces of conjuration magic with that.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me.
No.
Well.
Is there anything else to be found?
It seems like you found
Ooh.
everything that's still here.
Yeah.
I'm not me quick looking through all my spells. I'm like, that's a big
Alright.
glimpse of the future. Damn it!
I mean, Nim has
The
a
big
spell
glimpse
that
of the
might be
past.
useful here.
What will?
That's a spell that might be useful here.
Yeah, don't you have the spell that lets you see like snippets of a location if something traumatic happened there?
Oh,
Or do you not have that prepared?
You mean join pass?
you know what? Give me 1 second. I might actually. Thank you for reminding me
No
that I
worries.
have this.
I as your friend and GM, am one to want to remind you of this.
Well, because I was thinking of object reading, but that needs to be cast at a specific level, and I don't have it cast at the level I think I would need to have it cast at. But I do have retrocognition on my staff that my girlfriend gave me. And I think I will try that. It might be a very difficult DC.
Suddenly we're in
But-
Brooklyn.
Let me read to you. Let me read to you the description on this spell. Opening your mind to occult echoes, you gain impressions from past events that occurred in your current location. Retrocognition reveals psychic impressions from events that occurred over the course of the last day. Throughout the first minute of the duration, followed by impressions from the next day back to the next minute, and so on. These echoes don't play out like a vision, but instead reveal impressions of emotions and metaphors that provide cryptic clues and details of the past. If you witness a traumatic or turbulent event through an impression, the spell ends unless you succeed at a will save with a DC of at least 30 and possibly as much as 50, depending on the severity of the event. The GM determines whether an event is traumatic and chooses the DC.
Okay.
So, this starts at a minute.
Yeah.
And depending on how long I sustain it, I can go back for more days.
Okay.
So I am going to cast this spell.
You begin to look back in time, Nim, and the room around you begins to play in reverse. You see Lynx coming in, looking about, just missing barely that piece of cloth. You see them putting the stuff back together. You see them coming back. You see them coming back in for the first time, looking around, and then you see everything playing reverse. You can sustain it. It's up to any length until something traumatic happens, right?
Yes. Just let me know how many minutes have passed so I know how many days have gone by.
So, a week of time will go by. And then on the eve of that night, you see Barnaby. They've basically closed their desk beside their bed for the day. They've, put that down. They've taken out, a candle. They've gone into their... You see them, go... you see them in their bed. You see them... Oh, I guess technically you would see the kidnapping first. So you see... because it's playing reverse, right? It's not playing, in chronological order that day. It's playing in reverse of it. So you would see...
That occurred over the course of the last day throughout the first minute of the duration. Followed by impressions from the next day back to the next minute.
Yeah, so it does play in reverse.
It doesn't sound like it's playing in reverse necessarily. It sounds like for each minute you get a day.
Okay.
And the day before that and the day before that. But not necessarily that the day itself is in reverse.
Okay, then I appreciate that. We'll say that the day is not in reverse because then I don't have to do the reverse order of the events I've written down.
Yeah, I have to think harder.
That's a lot of brain power that I don't have.
That's a lot. That's too much.
So yeah, you see Barnaby basically getting ready for bed. They put a little nightcap on. At this point now, throughout while writing this thesis, almost all of the color is returned to them. Through Lynx's classes, and they're doing pretty well.
That's my little man.
You see them kind of tucking themselves into bed, pulling out this little stuffed chimera and giving it a hug.
Nice.
We need to find the stuffy in the room.
The stuffy is missing.
Those monsters.
And yeah, so then you see out the window, on the rooftops across the building, you see 3 robed figures just standing on the other side of the building, and then they teleport to another roof, and then they teleport to another roof even closer, and then they just teleport into the room. There's a struggle. Barnaby starts basically fighting, and they're holding their own for a bit. They manage to like wound one of them just like right across the face, like just like a big slit across the cheek.
Good identifier.
Okay. Good
And
to know.
then they also manage to basically start fighting them off, but one of them then reaches out and just sends like these like tendrils of burning light, and they wrap him up, and you see like them like physically burning Barnaby a bit.
Ooh.
Stuffy is then burnt to a crisp in this process.
Illegal.
I will murderize these people.
No, you can't listen by my sweet boy.
That actually,
No,
as Barnaby like is struggling to get out of that spell, it keeps tightening and burning, and then eventually Barnaby goes like knocked out limp. They've released the spell. One of them picks up Barnaby, just like puts him over their shoulder, the one that got the cut, looks towards them, nods, and then just teleports out. Then the other two start to and teleports out, and then they're like on the roof and they keep teleporting. So it appears as though these creatures can use Dimension Door at will.
Gross. All right.
Then you see the other two figures. They begin basically moving through the space, and like their robes keep their faces fully hidden. The reason why you saw the face of the other one was because of the cut, right? And as they're like moving, you see them basically tossing the entire apartment. You see them doing that, and then after a few minutes, you see one of them pull down their hood. And it is a familiar face to all of you, especially Nimbus. That is a woman.
Is it Nim's mom?
No, it's not Nim's mom. But
Is it Nim's mom's mom?
No, it's not Lucinda. It was specifically, and let's see if Nim can guess who it is. I'm curious if Nim can guess. Affiliated
I
with
hope
Lord...
it's not Nimbarella.
Is that what you nicknamed her?
There was a character that you made called Nimbarella. Oh God, what was her name? The one who was grossly all over Malachor.
Yeah, like the angel bitch.
Yeah, it's her.
Yeah.
It's her.
Ugh, she's gross.
You see her open the door.
I also
and
forgot her name.
It's at this point
Me
that I
too.
need you to make me the will save, Nim.
Okay.
Because this is when like the traumatic stuff starts happening.
Well, so I'd have to witness the traumatic or
Oh.
turbulent event.
Fair enough. You begin...
It is, so specifically it reads, if you witness a traumatic or turbulent event through an impression.
You see her basically beginning to open her mouth to almost like sing. And as she does, you can see like, you literally see like a chair being thrown out a window. Like you see as if this entire apartment building has gone into like a blood craze and is all attacking each other. That's what probably caused all that damage. It made it look like a break-in. She smiles, nods, disappears, and then the big figure walks over to the door and just kicks it off of the hinge from the inside. And then they also teleport and start teleporting away. And then, I don't think it would... Yeah, I think that'd be traumatic enough. Make me that will save. DC 40.
Sure. DC 40, okay.
Yeah. Not something crazy high for your level, but there you go. And yeah.
Alright. And technically that's a crit success, not that it matters.
That would be like... That gets you the information that you want. If you want to keep watching back in time, you can. That's your call.
I guess I'll watch back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to see, I want to see if they were like casing him at all.
Fair enough. You don't
Ooh, if
notice...
what's his face said any information out loud.
So it's just sort of emotions, like impressions of emotions.
Mm.
So I don't know if I get like words that people said.
Probably not.
Um,
You do see like Barnaby like in the day before basically feeling very accomplished, but it looks like they're just about to like go and hand this stuff to Lynx, and then they notice something on their paper and they're like, they don't like that, it's like a typo, so they take it, they bring out a whole new stack of paper because they're doing this by hand, and they start copying it.
Precious, precious little
I love
man.
him.
Okay. I have one more question, which is, who was the one who had their cloak ripped on the foot of the bed? Was it one of the faceless ones?
It was the one that got stabbed. It was the one that got the face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so but not what's her name?
No.
My notes are all the way over there, and I don't
my
remember
notes
what
for
they
the
are.
Charlotte arc are all the way over there, so I have to go and like grab them to remember her name off the top of my head. But
Okay. I
Was
come out of this state.
were you narrating this as you were experiencing it?
Rosamine.
I don't think so. I think I was focused on what was going on.
Fair enough.
No, not Rosamine.
No,
Lavinia?
it started with an L. Lavinia.
That was
that's
her
what it
name, right?
was.
yes,
That's the bitch. Take a shot every time I say bitch.
I really wanted to say
Such-
Viviana, but I just knew it was wrong.
That's
Because
close.
a thought occurs to me that's an odd question. I'm hoping Gar would be smart enough to think of this. Why, if they were concerned about his research, why didn't they just kill him?
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to voice it aloud because it felt a bit gauche.
I don't know what that means.
It's okay. It's part of your charm.
Visible question marks appear above Garl's head, like, what?
a cloud comes over the sun, casting shade on the building.
It wasn't shade. It was a compliment. That I can't say. Perhaps they wanted his research abilities for their own. Perhaps they wanted him as a bargaining piece. Regardless, I do have 2 new leads that may not be quite as viciously guarded as Barnaby himself. I still have 2 more. Are you good, Will?
Yeah, I was just going to cough and I stopped myself from coughing.
Oh, I thought you were hiding.
No, I was about to cough and I was like, I don't want to like be gross on a stream, but I stopped.
I get that.
Well, I can try to discern the location of Lavinia herself. I can also try to discern the location of the owner of this piece of cloth right here. Was that a dam?
No, I wasn't a dam.
I thought you mouthed. I thought you went.
No, I
And I was
like-
like, did I do it?
I swallowed. I apologize.
How could you?
How could you? You're
How
being gross
dare.
on stream.
Would it be easier to find Lavanya if you had something belonging to her?
Ooh.
I've met her in person, so it's about the same. But
Because I do still have her vial of angel dust.
Oh,
Oh, that good stuff.
oh, Carl.
I mean, did I say that out loud?
Yes, I suppose I will try to discern her location first, and then the mystery owner of this cloak.
Okay.
So starting with Lavinia. Any luck?
Yes.
Yes.
Currently in the Magiscard Wastes.
Of course.
Ooh. Where?
Just north of Port Peridot.
Of course she is. All
What a
right.
coincidence.
That's a
I
good
wonder
start.
if it's near some beacon.
Another hand.
Maybe.
Another hand touches my beacon.
Another hand touches
Touches
the beacon.
I
Did
don't
you
know
actually do an
play
echo
that
effect
game,
there?
but I still know.
No, we just both said at
We
the
should
same
both say it
time.
at the same
That's
time.
unnerving.
Oh man, I want.
And
this
I
guy.
also, just for safety, want to do it on. I would assume that the person's cloak, the symbol of their religion, would be a relatively important item to them.
Yeah, that's fine.
And having a piece of it would be enough to possibly discern the location, which I will do.
You discern the location. It is in a extra dimensional space.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, sorry.
Doesn't
Do we
give
know
me
which
anything more than
one?
that.
What?
I said it doesn't give me anything more than that.
No, they are in essentially someone's magnificent mansion that they've made.
I don't think Magnificent Mansion is extra dimensional.
I thought you said it was.
I think
did
it's a
not.
pocket
I
dimension.
said no such thing. I think we have joked about it being similar to that.
Oh,
Probably.
We probably did. But then let me just double check the spell.
It is conjuration, if that helps at all.
Yeah, it's conjuration is the same stuff that's used for teleportation.
Actually, I believe I have specifically said that technically these mansions have no inherent magical abilities unto their own, and Will has said, it's fine, if it's just for fun.
Yeah.
The only, super specific thing that they can do is provide, a bunch of food and servants.
Oh. Well, then in that case, you would be told that this is, specifically they are very high up in the sky, in the middle of the ocean, north of the Magiscard Wastes.
Well, another beacon.
A new hand touches the beacon.
All right. So, the bad news is I don't think that Lavinia or our mystery cloaked man are with Barnaby currently. The good news is I do think I know the location of 2 of the beacons, intuitively in my head right now.
That's good.
Should we go to them?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
We could use your axe, Carl.
I would be all about that.
And your
Also,
bow, Cassandra.
now, near Port Peridot, you said?
Yes, so there's one near Port Peridot. There's also another one way up in the sky in the middle of the ocean.
Geographically speaking, how far away is Port Peridot?
A doorway.
Oh, the doorway thing. I'm never going to get to use teleport.
Um,
I'm sorry, Carl.
Are you, though? Are
A
you?
little.
geographically speaking,
To be fair, yeah, teleport only has a range of 100 miles.
way more than 100
Oh.
miles.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I was just wanted to ask.
Yup.
Yeah. But yes,
Well, actually, I'm going to actually get my actual sword for this.
I guess here's the question: which one do you want to go to first? Castle in the Sky, or Port Peridot's one?
Port Peridot because I feel fear for Malakor's safety.
That's fair.
Curses! Now I can't
But
end the
I'm-
session on a cliffhanger.
Always good when you stymie the DM.
Although
Dangerous, but-
technically, and I do just want to, I'm curious about this. Since we have flown across what remains of the Opal Empire, would we be able to open a key door into this mid-air area?
There has to be a doorway there for you to do it.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Okay.
It doesn't work for just It doesn't work for middle of nowhere, but it does work for any city basically.
Door to door, not door to
Door
empty
to door.
ruined space.
gotcha.
Would you say it's
Although, if
maybe 100
someone-
miles up in there?
If someone made a door and put it there, you could go there. But
I mean, if someone cast Resplendent Mansion?
yeah,
Yeah.
but you'd have to have
Which
been there for
they
the key
did.
to work.
So I would have needed to have used that specific door.
Not that specific
Not
door,
just-
but you would need to be in that vicinity.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, is that we flew, yes?
Yeah, the
From-
one that's in the air is north of the Magiscard Wastes.
Oh, okay. Middle of the ocean. Gotcha, never
Yeah.
mind. We have not been there.
You've not been there. There is one that was
Alright.
underwater in Volusia, which is the one I thought you were talking about. Can I?
That's also the one I thought I was talking about.
No, there's.
I thought there was another one in midair, above it, but in a similar locale.
That one's.
Never mind. Good for clarification. All right. My instinct is to go to the one in Port Peridot first because I think that will be the easiest one for all of us to access. Whereas I think Garl and I would be able to easily get to the one in the air above the ocean, but I think the rest of you might have a tough time with that.
I mean,
I have a
doesn't
broom.
can't
Oh, you do have the flying broom.
can't Lynx's crazy backpack thing just do like
A little Inspector Gadget helicopter.
that
Please.
doesn't seem unreasonable.
Ah,
Please let
yes.
that work. DM,
My crazy backpack thing.
I would allow it.
So we all
Imagine
have a
that
fly
coming
speed,
at you. Just like.
is what I'm hearing.
I should note that without some sort of other form of propulsion, that kind of thing could only probably carry you up directly and then down directly.
Oh,
I love
boy.
that.
Well,
It's not how helicopters work.
all right. Well, let's still. I think the one at Port Peridot is almost on the way.
Mhm.
Like we can sort of triangulate it. So maybe we can go in that direction.
Fine by me.
You all open the door to Port Peridot after collecting your stuff. Step on through. You're in that bar. It's empty.
Wait.
Oh.
I need to meet up with the detective first.
She's right.
We have 10 minutes. It's fine. I'm shooting him a sending real quick and just being like, where do we need to meet?
He'll reply, coffee shop, 3rd Street, corner, can't miss it.
I'm there.
You're there. Do you send the rest of them towards Port Peridot while you're there, or do you just go to this meeting?
Oh, I was gonna grab a coffee for the road.
Yeah, yeah. Shall we get a cortado for the road?
Cake pop.
Yeah, let's all go.
I've heard
Let's make
good
a
things
Starbucks run.
about the fake meat breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, those might be good.
They are.
I'll get
Um,
Garl the seasonal reindeer cake pop.
The little pretzel antlers.
Eats the entire thing, including a stick.
As she should.
It's so cute.
So,
All right.
corner booth, they're kind of sitting. They have like a paper up, looking all like secret.
I
it
sit
down.
in the corner booth.
Yeah, they put down the paper.
We all just like
I
crunching
put my
together.
hand out.
Hands you a sack of gold. Has all the gold in it.
Pocket it. Give him a nod.
Gives you a nod.
Did you find anything else specific?
I didn't, but the Lord of Light's goons have been active members of the community,
That's an understatement.
and thusly a number of officers have connections to them.
Naturally. Do you know which?
I am starting to get an idea. A thing that worries me is that the folks who start investigating them often get disappeared.
About to take care of the people who are disappearing people.
That's good.
If you wanted to give me a list of names within the police force, perhaps I can help you crack down on the heretics.
Yeah, maybe send the Scarlet at them. And he kind of chuckles. Just like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
slides you a list.
Mm-hmm.
I think she might be retired anyway, but
I'll tell her to come out of retirement. We got some folks that need killing.
Came to the right
maybe
place.
just a good scare. Put the fear of Saren Ray into them.
Kind of chuckles at that. Yeah. But there you
Well, thank you.
go.
And
From what I've been able to tell, they've been keeping the folks they take alive, so your friend's probably okay.
do you have any idea why?
I don't know. With the people they're taking, I'm thinking maybe they're doing some sort of labor. Maybe they're working on some sort of magical items. Maybe like something along those
Or
lines.
lenses.
All right.
but I honestly don't know. It's not my area of expertise. I just, I'm normally just looking out for who stabbed who.
Well, luckily no one's been stabbed yet. This has been very illuminating.
Please don't use light language right now, Nim.
Yeah, you don't want to take light of this situation.
This is a very illuminating conversation.
I already used that one, Carl.
Well, I wasn't paying attention. There was a bird.
Merle just
There
goes.
was a bee.
Oh, it was Merle.
There's a bee. I love that vine so much. My name's Aaron with the B, and I've been afraid of
As you-
insects my whole life.
Stop.
Where's the bee? There's
As
a
you-
bee.
There's a bee.
As you mentioned bee, you see this dwarven, you see this man shudder a little bit at the sound of them. Don't like bees.
Why?
You can ask him
Okay.
if you want to ask him.
I don't. It's fine.
Fair enough.
Is your name Aaron with a B?
No,
This is a
just-
bee?
All
I
right.
had a bad experience when I was a young investigator.
Why are you eavesdropping on our conversation?
I'm sitting
are
beside
you?
you at a booth.
Oh, you said a dwarf. You didn't say the.
Yeah,
the
sorry, I
investigator.
misspoke. That's my bad.
I'll admit, I thought for a second there you were going to say a dwarf comes out wearing a bumblebee outfit. Just
Anyway, we have business to attend to, and we should probably attend to it.
Best of luck.
Keep in touch.
Will do.
And I will open a door. Off to the Port Peridot. This key is the best thing
Isn't
ever
it?
been given in a game.
Isn't it the best thing?
I'm so sorry, Matt.
I just one, yes. Two, I'm worried Will's setting us up for a twist with the key.
So, as you arrive in Port Peridot, you're in that tavern. It looks as though like majority of the people are getting ready to basically like they're getting ready for the day. They're like everyone's outside doing their job. The bartender's like behind the bar, just kind of like nods. It's like, that's a lot more folks coming out of the supply closet than normal. Just kind of like looks down.
What can I say? We're a fun group.
I'm not going to judge. Spit
Nim
shine.
exits the Nim exits the supply closet with like a, like a half empty to go cup
Yeah.
from a cafe in Lutania, and he just doesn't question it.
I'll just.
Um,
Cassandra's got her
I mean-
reusable tumbler.
all right. I think we need to go just north of here. It shouldn't be very far.
Yeah. You come out to the square. So Malachor you see Malachor basically like right at the edge of the gates of the town. Like they've just loaded up, and they're like getting ready to head out. And then above the town, you see a figure standing there, just in midair.
Fire
and
on sight.
then some wings pop out, and she says, "People of the Magisgard Wastes, it is time for you to become illuminated by the Lord of Light's will." And as she begins to speak, the townsfolk seem to like lose their heads a bit. Sophia seems to like be clutching at her head, and then she looks at Malachor, and you just see as we're ending the session, her hand going towards Malachor's neck, and we're going to end the session there, right before this big old fight.
Did not trust that bitch. I did not trust that bitch.
It seems like Sophia's fallen to like the magical influence, is what's happening there.
Couldn't be me.
All right, but
Nick
everyone,
said I'm built different.
thank you so much for coming to tonight's episode of League of Amazing Adventurers. Don't forget to check out our other shows here on the channel, specifically the Strength of Thousands AP on Monday, and then next week's episode of League of Amazing Adventurers. Otherwise, I've been Will. This has been our cast. You've all been awesome. Thanks for sitting at our table tonight, and we'll see you all at the next one. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Merle says goodbye.